What's going on, legends? My name's JACKED and this is a Pokemon Champions battling video. I think today I'm going to be trying to use Mega Glamora and a few Pokemon which complement that. So Mega Glamora is in that awful, not awful, but middle speed tier where it's not fast, it's not slow. So I thought I'd bring Talonflame along just to give it that extra boost with Tailwind, Gale Wing, so it's priority. I brought Basculegend because it hits like an absolute truck. I brought Decidueye just because I like the Pokemon. It threatens Sucker Punch and other Basculegions, and then I brought Arcaladon and Politoed just for a bit of synergy. Drizzle, Electroshot. That's the team. I don't claim to be Wolfie VGC. I just like the Pokemon. Right, so the first battle. I think looking at the opponent's team, I think I need a bit of speed control. They haven't got anyone to set up Trick Room, which is good. They might have Tailwind on their own, Corviknight. So I think I bring Talonflame definitely. I've got a Focus Sash on it so I can live one hit. After a Tailwind, it'll be the fastest thing on the field. Basculegend, I think I'm bringing just to... I can flip turn out, do some damage, get some switch initiative. And then I think I do end up going with the Arcaladon or the Politoed. There's no electric immunities. I got Weather Ball on the Politoed, which will hit... it'll hit the Lycanroc, it'll hit the T-Tar, it'll hit like Glamora. So I think that's what I do end up going with here. Yeah. They lead Glamora and Rotom, which isn't an awful matchup, I suppose. I think I just want to get my Tailwind up here, get that bit of speed control, and I do not want to be taking a Thunderbolt from a Rotom. I was assuming it was Scarfed Rotom, which a lot of people do end up running, and I was assuming it was Mega Glamora, but it wasn't. He protects there, so I still get my Tailwind off, but I don't manage to switch up Basculegend. Rotom goes to the Electro Web, which is does a lot of damage to both. I think I'm probably still the fastest two Pokemon on the field. I have got a Choice Scarf. It's Choice Scarf Adaptability Basculegend, just to hit that. I think I went for Brave Bird on the Rotom just to get a little bit of damage off, and then flip turn out. So I think he's probably going to go for another Electro Web. That was my thinking. Brings in the Corviknight, which is a great switch from him. We flip turn out. I think I'm expecting another Electro Web. So I think I go into my Arcaladon, something that's tanky, can take it, and then, yeah. Do get some damage off on the Rotom. It's not a lot of damage, 25%. It's okay. He gets the Electro Web off, which lowers my speed, which isn't great for my Arcaladon. I don't think I'm running a fast Arcaladon anyway. I've fully invested into defense, fully invested into special attack. So yeah, it's just to sit there, take hits, and hit back. We see it's Leftovers Rotom, so it's not Choice Scarfed. I think we bring in Politoed here just for the Electroshot. We can get +1 special attack with Electroshot, which is great. Got the Drizzle. I think the only issue I had was that he possibly brings in his T-Tar to set up the weather, but I think I was expecting the Electroshot there. I could take an Electroshot, and he does bring in the T-Tar just for weather control. It's not awful. I do protect my Politoed from the Electro Web, and I do get +1. I do have to wait next turn. The only issue that I was thinking about was, does Rotom protect to mitigate my Electroshot? He does Will-O-Wisp. I'm a special attacker. It doesn't really do much, but Oh, it is chip damage, which is not great on Arcaladon. I think I was fully expecting this T-Tar to be Mega, especially if the Glamora wasn't. So I was a little... I thought I had to Rain Dance, just in case he Megaed this turn, just to get back weather control. He protected his T-Tar, which is absolutely fine. I wasn't going for that anyway. We do see the Electroshock connect. Doesn't take it out. Rotom is a very bulky Pokemon. Then he goes for the Thunderbolt on my Politoed. I'm quite tanky. Politoed's a decently tanky Pokemon. Takes it, but he will not take another one. Some more chip damage, which is not great, and then obviously my Tailwind peters out. I was expecting him to Mega here, so I thought possibly a Rock type might do a bit more damage to the Rotom, and then I got Aura Sphere on my Arcaladon just for a bit of coverage. He Hydro Pumps, luckily we dodge. Arcaladon do be nimble. And we do manage to take out the Rotom with a Weather Ball. I think whether regardless it was rock or water, I think it was going down either way. Aura Sphere, decent damage. My opponent is really thinking about what to send out here. Sends the Glamora back out. I put Mud Shot on Politoed just for a bit of speed control. Possibly could run something else, but yeah, I double into the Glamora. I don't really see Corviknight as much of a threat. And it is Mega Glamora, it wasn't a Mega T-Tar. Yeah, the powers, which takes out my Arcaladon. I think I'm okay with Arcaladon going down. I've got some ones in the back that want to help. I think Weather Ball's going to take out the Corviknight. It's 30%, stab, in the rain, boosted. So I think I'm in a pretty decent position here. Politoed's regaining its health, and I'm pretty sure that my Basculegend can come in and just sweep. I don't think I brought a Mega to the first game, which is actually quite funny. I think T-Tar's probably the biggest threat to my Basculegend, just because I think I was fearing for a knockoff, which would have definitely taken me out. So I Wave Crash the T-Tar just to get rid of the biggest threat. The more protected, which I think probably was a misplay on my opponent's behalf. I wasn't going for it. And then I managed to take out the T-Tar with Wave Crash. And then I can take out... We live on 33 from recoil. I'm going to take Sandstorm damage, but I still survive on 21. I just Mud Shot, I'm just covering, then I can Wave Crash. I'm Choice Scarf, I'm going to be the fastest. Yeah, so that with this Wave Crash should just take out the Glamora. If he was running Spiky Shield, it might have been a different story. You Spiky Shield, you'd probably take my Basculegend out. And then it's a 1v1 with a half health Politoed and a full health Glimmora, which probably would have gone a different way, to be honest. Yeah, so we see the Wave Crash connect, we see Glimmora go down, and that is GG. That was a fun match. Even though I'm trying out Mega Glimmora, I don't bring it to this fight. I just don't think the matchup was there. 4 times weak to ground. I think any Earth Power just immediately destroys it. And we won that game. On to the second game. For me, it looked like a Sun team. Yeah, so I think you have to kind of. In my rationale was weather with weather. I thought they were going to bring Venusaur Charizard. That Venusaur is like lightning quick if the sun is up, especially if it's running Chlorophyll. I think I end up going with Politoed and Archaludon lead. I think. Yeah, I do. I end up going with a Politoed Archaludon lead. I think I bring in Talonflame just because it kind of scares the Venusaur, it kind of scares the Sneasler. And it sets up Tailwind, which is good for speed control. And then to be honest, I don't know whether Glimmora had a great matchup in this match, but I just like it and I want to bring it. I thought it does well into Charizard. It can pretty much one-shot it with a Power Gem, so yeah. I did not expect this lead from my opponent. I specifically expected them to bring their weather. It's not an awful lead. I'm expecting a fake out from the Sneasler. That's okay. I just want to get some damage off because I think an EQ from a Garchomp is going to hurt. We protect from the fake out and the EQ. I don't think EQ is going to do a lot to Politoed. And I assumed that they were going to fake out my Archaludon, so that was my rationale behind that. And then a Weather Ball boosted in the rain against the Garchomp is going to do decent damage. Should do around about 50%, depending on how they're invested. There's the fake out, which we protected from, which is great. He doubled in my Archaludon, which is also amazing. We get the Weather Ball off, which does 52%, so it is a 2-shot on the Garchomp, which is pretty good. Then we're going to try and get some damage on this Sneasler and hopefully take out the Garchomp with another Weather Ball. I don't think they can 2-shot I don't think either of them can take out my Politoed. I am bulky. They are also physical attackers, and I do have the Chocolate Berry on my Archaludon, so this shouldn't do much. I'm over 200 defense. Yeah, it doesn't do that much. It's not bad damage, but it's okay. And then my stamina procs again, so my defense goes up. He is White Herb, so it's probably Unburden as well. We take the Rock Slide. Archaludon eats that. So does Politoed. And then we do manage to take out the Garchomp. I don't think I've ever... it's a bit strange. A Politoed taking out the Garchomp. You've seen it here first. We do manage to get the Electro Shot off in the rain. Which surprisingly doesn't take out the Sneasler, so... be relatively bulky. It's not bulky, but he must have invested somewhat. Does send in the Charizard. I think I was expecting another close combat, and I'm not sure whether I was expecting him to go Mega Charizard Y, which most players do. I did run a Mega Charizard X team before, which I thoroughly enjoyed. physical attack that Tough Claws is, it's insane. Maybe I'll do another video showing a Mega Charizard X team, because I did have quite a bit of success with that. So yeah, we protect. Close Combat goes in like we predicted. I should have seen that coming. It is quite a common, but obviously I didn't. But that's definitely going to take out our Politoed. I have to bring Talonflame in here. I think if I bring in my Mega Glamora, it's just gonna, it'll be destroyed. Need to take out the Sneasler, and then I think I need to set up a Tailwind, yes, for my Glamora to come in, be faster than the Charizard, and one-shot it with Power Gem. We do get priority with the Tailwind because of Gale Wings, which is, Talonflame is a very good support mon, plus physical attack, it's great. We've got the Focus Sash as well, so we live. But my speed is lowered. I still think I'm probably faster than most things. And then we eventually do take out the Sneasler. I'm expecting Venusaur to come in. He weather balls, which, to be honest, I'm actually okay with. Because now my Glamora can come in, Power Gem the Charizard, take it out. And you actually get to see Glamora do something. Yeah, I just want to take this Charizard out. I don't have Gale Wings anymore, and I wasn't sure whether my Talonflame was faster than the Venusaur with Chlorophyll. But you'll see what happens now. Okay, so I Mega Evolve. Such a nice Mega. It's so pretty. We get Power Gem off, we're the fastest. We kill the Charizard. Adaptability, Stab. And I think he probably misplays here by sleeping my Mega Glamora. I can only assume that he thought he was faster. And then we Brave Bird, which, from a Talonflame, is going to take out the Dinosaur. Going to take out the Venusaur. And we take game 2. If you are enjoying the video, make sure you like and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. I would thank you very much if you do. And I'll be posting a lot more content, Pokemon Champions battling videos, maybe some other content. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see something else. Game 3. I think my Basculegend probably looks really good into this. That's why I think I lead Politoed Basculegend. I can get a flip turn off, do some big damage in the rain. Adaptability, something's getting hit quite hard. A Caledon, they're quite physically offensive team, apart from the Galarian Slowking, but it's a poison type, which my Caledon is immune to, and I think I just bring Mega Glamora because I really like it. And it hasn't seen a lot of action. It probably doesn't have the best matchup here with the ground types, the earth powers and whatnot, but and obviously the Corviknight Steel type, so it's immune to my poison moves, but I just like Mega Glamora, so I think that's why I brought it. I probably could have brought something else, like my Decidueye for the fight-in for the T-Tar, but why not? My opponent took his time thinking about who he was going to lead with. I don't know if he was expecting me to lead Rain. He probably expected me to lead Politoed or Caledon. And he actually leads Incineroar and Cleaver. Cleaver is such a cool Pokemon. The design is insane. Yeah, we get the rain up. The Intimidated does lower my attack. Weather Ball will do good damage to either. I'm expecting a fake out on my Politoed, so I think I just went for that. I probably could have protected, just to save that little bit of chip damage, but we're okay. I did want to flip turn the Cleaver just in case he protected, and I knew the Incineroar was going to go for fake out, so I knew that he wasn't going to protect. He has got a Citrus Berry, which isn't amazing, but it's still damage. And I think we bring in the Arcalodon. And then he does go for Stone Axe, which doesn't do a lot of damage. Arcalodon eats that, plus I get my stamina boost. So it's all around a pretty decent first turn. Luckily I didn't bring the Talonflame because those stones would have hurt. And then we pretty much recover the fake out damage anyway. I think this was a pretty safe play to get damage on both the Pokemon. I did want to go for Electroshock. Obviously they've got a Garchomp in the back. They've also got a T-Tar, which will change the weather, so then I'm locked into Electroshock. I do have the Chopper Berry for the close combat. That does no damage whatsoever. And I get another stamina boost. It's not White Herb, which I thought it would be. It turns out it's Focus Sash, which is probably why he was playing so aggressively. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a pain. Aura Sphere, it does not take the Incineroar out. And then he goes for a parting shot of my Arcalodon. So I am at -1 special attack, -1 attack. Brings out the T-Tar for the weather control. I think I was expecting this to be Mega as well. I think I just wanted to take out the Cleaver. It was just being a nuisance at this point, and then I protect my Arcalodon. I think I was... It is Mega T-Tar. And I think if I take out the Cleaver, he protects. Which is kind of a bad turn for us. We don't really get anything done. I probably should have rain dance there, but I didn't, and that knockoff just obliterates my Politoed. It is a crit, that probably matters. But it's okay. We have Basculegend. Now it is Choice Scarf, so I know it's probably going to be the fastest on the field. I need to take out this Cleaver. I know it can't protect. It just protected last turn. I can flip turn. I get switch initiative into my Glamora, and I can. I know I'm -1. It's still an Aura Sphere should still do decent damage to the T-Tar. I think my win con was Basculegend. Pretty much all of his Pokemon were weak to it. We take out the Incineroar, which is great with a flip turn. Plus, I can get my Glamora in. I haven't megged it yet. It still has the ability to Toxic Debris. So if he does go for me, I get Toxic Spikes on his side of the field, which is great. Obviously it doesn't affect the Corviknight, but that Cleaver's on 1 HP. Gets the knockoff, which does a lot of damage. We see the Toxic. See the Corviknight. I think I just needed to get damage on this Corviknight, because... I think my win con definitely was my Basculegend. The only thing that threatened my Basculegend was the Corviknight. I knew I could one-shot Wave Crash the T-Tar with it. A Spiky Shield is possible to get a little bit of extra chip damage if someone wanted to attack me, but T-Tar protected. I think he was expecting another Aura Sphere from my Gallodon. We do Electro Shot. I know it's not in the range, so I'm kind of like stun locked, but I am -1 special attack at that point, so now I'm back to neutral. And this should do decent damage to the Corviknight. Yeah, I'm just thinking, who do I attack? Who can my Basculegend come in and take out? Does knockoff, which does nothing. Stamina boost again. I think this does take me out. It does. I think I was expecting the Corviknight to protect there, obviously, because he knew an Electro Shot was coming away. So now we're at neutral, Electro Shot. I don't think it takes out the Corviknight, but it does 80%, which is great damage. And the Sandstorm subsides. And then we can just bring in Basculegend to clean up now, pretty much. Now I know a Wave Crash takes out, I think I went for Tyranitar just because of the knockoff. And 20%, I think an Aura Sphere should take out a Corviknight. You see the Wave Crash connect, it takes out the T-Tar. Do not get knocked off, we do take a bit of recoil damage. He Brave Birds, he'll take recoil as well, so my Aura Sphere should kill, plus my Basculegend survives, and then the Aura Sphere connects and takes out the Corviknight. And we take game 3. Because the Cleaver comes in, Toxic Spikes, he can't kill both my Pokemon, and then he forfeits. So GG to my opponent. But Basculegend was definitely my win con in that game. And on to game 4 and final game. I think I was expecting a Sun team. I was expecting the Venusaur Charizard lead. So for me, Talonflame looks good here just to set up Tailwind, just so my Glimmora can outspeed their Charizard. So I think I end up going with Talonflame and Glimmora. I get a Tailwind off, I've got my Focus Sash, I can Brave Bird the Venusaur next, the turn after, so I think that was my thought process. I bring Basculegend because it's just such a good sweeper. It pretty much threatens the other Basculegend with Last Respects, it threatens the Garchomp with Wave Crash, Last Respects is just broken, and obviously it threatens the Incineroar as well. I do end up going with the Decidueye as well. I don't know why. Because I think I probably Sucker Punch pressure on the Basculegend. And I just like the Pokemon. I prefer the Decidueye, Suian Decidueye over normal Decidueye. He does lead where I think he'll lead. I'm not in an awful spot here, where I think I need to get my Tailwind up. I do think about switching, but just because there's probably an Earth Power coming my way from the Venusaur, which will 1,000,000% one-shot my Glamora. It's 4 times weak, not very bulky. I think my opponent's thinking about what he's going to do here. I do get priority Tailwind, which is good. He does Mega Evolve. Oh, that's me, sorry. I do Mega Evolve. I think he Mega Evolves well. Charizard Y again. You don't see many Charizard X's on the ladder. And then I think if you see a Charizard and a Venusaur in the team lineup, you can pretty much assume it's going to be a Y. I do Spiky Shield. He protects, which is fine by me. I do get my Tailwind off. There's the Earth Power. My Mega Glamora is not living an Earth Power from a Venusaur. I can Brave Bird the Venusaur and then I Power Gem the Charizard. Depends how speed invested the Venusaur is, whether or not it outspeeds my Glamora, I think. Not 100%. He withdraws. Sets up Basculegend, it's still going to do good damage. I Brave Bird. I did not expect a Focus Sash Venusaur. Take some recoil damage. I am faster than the Venusaur. I do get some good damage on the Basculegend. But then this Earth Power is going to blow me back. If I do lose my Mega, they've still got their Megas out in the back. But I do have Basculegend. I have the Talonflame, which is probably the fastest thing on the field, apart from the Basculegend if it's Scarf. But I think that's why I brought in the Decidueye. I can Brave Bird the Venusaur, I know I'm faster than it. I do have a Sucker Punch pressure on the Basculegend. I don't know if he knew I had Sucker Punch. But we see the Sucker Punch connect, takes out the Basculegend, which is a massive threat. Take out the Venusaur with a Brave Bird. We're in a pretty decent spot. It's 3v2 at the moment. We know he's got a Charizard, we don't know where his other Pokemon is. We've got the Basculegend in the back though, to potentially come up and clean up. I'm expecting a Rock Slide. I think I want to see if it's Scarf. I do double protect. Let's be honest, I'm not sure why I did. I am still learning battling. I haven't been into it for that long, so it's any tips, any tricks, or any comments about what you think I could have done differently, leave them in the comment section. I'll definitely take them on board. Obviously it improves my battling, it helps me, so yeah. think I wanted to get as much damage off on the Garchomp as possible. I probably should have Sucker Punched because I'm definitely the slowest on the field, just for that extra chip damage. I do Brave Bird, I do get some damage off. I think my win con was definitely my Basculegend in the back. He does Rock Slide, takes up the Talonflame, but Decidueye eats that. But then he's going to go for else now. The crit, that was a crit as well, wow. Yeah, it goes for Air Slash, takes out my Decidueye. Now I'm not in an awful position. My Basculegend is going to be the fastest on the field with a Choice Scarf. I have Last Respects, which is work done. And it is the last Pokemon alive, so it's like a bajillion damage move at the moment. I think at this point I was deciding who was the bigger threat, who could take me out, who could one-shot me. Heat Wave is not one-shot in a Basculegend. Any fire move, there's no sun, it's resisted. But a Garchomp could EQ if it's not scarfed. So I think I went for the Garchomp. Get the Last Respects off, we kill the Garchomp. We actually find out it's not rough skin, which is strange for a Garchomp. Get the S-Slash, which I knew I'd survive, and then we Last Respect to Charizard, which, with a billion damage, picks up the KO. That was a fun match, I have to be honest. It's fun playing Sun teams and weather teams and trying to think of a way around them. But yeah, Basculegend definitely MVP for this video. And that's it. So if you like the content, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll be posting videos when I can. Peace!